better option for professional makeup artists. This one is great for the everyday makeup artist who wants to try, you know, lashes and other forms of makeup, because you're probably not going to keep going in and sanitizing this every time you use it. I mean, it would be ideally a great idea, but I just don't see that happening for every client. Okay, so every person. So what I like to do after I take the lash out of the packaging, I take the lash, and this one's gonna go on. And you can also tell which eyelash it's going to go on, what side it's going to go onto, because the lash will be short on the side that it will be short at the beginning for the eye that it's going to go on. So this one's short on the left side, so I know it's going to go on the left eye. So when you take it out of the packaging, you want to place it onto your eyelid. And sometimes this lash applicator doesn't work so well, so then I go in with my tweezers. I would not suggest using tweezers for someone who's a beginner because you don't want to poke out your eye, but I know. So I can see that this is going to go well for me once I put the lash glue on to my eyelid. So now I'm just going to apply some Kiss lash glue, and you can use whichever glue that you prefer. And then I like to kind of wave it back and forth a little bit so that the glue can get tacky, so it's easy for it to adhere to your lash line. Now I like to get it as close to the lash line as possible. Some people like to give it a little bit of space in between, and that's just, if you want more of a natural look, then this is the way I would recommend. If you have stacked lashes and you want to go a little bit above that line, that winged liner that you created, but that's only if you're stacking lashes or you have heavy lashes that you're applying on the lid, because what it will do what I usually make my clients do when I apply lashes on them is to make sure they look down but keep their eye open. Reason being, because if you have too much glue on that lash line, whoa, it can drip into their eye, and you don't want to have that on your hands. So now I prefer lash glue in black because it's less likely for it to look unnatural, or I would have to, like now, because when it dries it's going to dry like a clear, but it'll have a little bit of white to it, so I would have to go in with my eyeliner. And my favorite eyeliner, that's a felt tip eyeliner, is by Milani. It's a Milani Eye Tech Extreme. Most of the time when you see me wearing eyeliner, this is what I have on. This, for whatever reason, does not get as much, you know, like, not notoriety, but it doesn't really get as many shout outs as it really deserves. It is a great felt tip eyeliner pencil. It is super pigmented and stays on and does not smudge when it sets. A lot of people talk about the Stila felt tip pen. In my opinion, when I used to put that on clients, it's very wet. It's a very wet formula. So if you have a client who has not worn eyeliner before and they like to blink a lot, it will transfer all the way up here, and you have to be really prepared for that. Like you might have to put like a Q-tip to put right here, right after you apply it onto the lash line, so that client can't really have the opportunity to really blink and get that eyeliner up here because it's super wet. It's super wet. Like this dries to a matte finish, and it doesn't have that glossy finish to it, and it doesn't smudge, it stays put, and it's so easy to hold in my hand. And I believe this is $8.99, and you can usually find this at CVS. They usually will have a BOGO sale, like buy one get one 50% off. I usually just pick it up then and get them both at the same time. That way I always have one on hand. Like this is drying out now, and I like to store it upside down so that the ink, it drips down into the furrow of the marker so that it doesn't have an opportunity to dry out. Or the Milani direction says to hold it, to keep it like this, and I've done that as well. But I personally like it like this, so that it stays wet and doesn't stay saturated. When I used to keep it across, it would make the tip really, really wet, and to the point where it would kind of lose that kind of sturdiness and firmness to the felt tip. So this is how the lash looks. So like I said, normally I see how it's a little bit a little white in certain areas and clear in others. I would just go over it with a little bit of black eyeliner so that I wouldn't see that, so that it would be perfect. I like to get it close to the lash line because it looks the most natural in my opinion. Like I don't wear false eyelashes that touch the top of my brow. I mean, I have seen some that just look really beautiful and really great, but I find that the average person or the average client, they prefer something that looks a little bit more natural because they don't want someone to say, oh hey, do you have on lashes? They really want that, ooh, your lashes look really good, what have you been doing kind of effect. So I really like these by Kiss. They're very light, they're not heavy, and I don't like bands that are firm. Now there's a brand that I've used in the past. Some clients like it, some clients don't, and it comes in a yellow box from a beauty supply store, and you can usually find it for like $1.99, and it has a firm band, and that sometimes can be kind of tricky because especially when you have a client who blinks a lot, you don't have that much time to really lay the lash down. So you might have part of the lash adhering and part of the lash sticking up. So what you want to do is really get one of your brushes and wrap the lash around the brush, and you just want to wiggle it back and forth, and then go in and apply the lash glue so that it gives a little bit more flexibility to that lash. Sorry. So I hope this video was helpful to you all. I'm also going to be filming maybe 2 more videos. It depends on how much lighting allows me to do so. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye guys.